All right, so last week, Jeffree Star went on Logan Paul's podcast, and it was an interesting episode, to say the least. And Mike and Logan, they came with some good questions. I got to give them credit.
Are there any dicks or endings or weird situations? What would you say the weirdest situation you've ever encountered as it pertains to cocks would be?
And that question leads to Jeffree Star's disturbing encounter with a micro penis. And I'll play the rest of this clip later on. I want to start out with something a little more mild, even though this whole podcast is pretty crazy. But I'm going to start out with Jeffree talking about all the rappers and NBA players that apparently he's hooked up with.
Do you have to do a little bit of a work to get that turn?
No, we're gonna, after this, we'll show you my phone. You can see all your friends and rappers DMing me. They're in fucking nudes. So no, I don't have to do any work. So it's when I choose to have fun, they're available. But I don't out people. That's why people fuck with me. So rappers, basketball players.
Yeah,
no,
just
privately.
Well, we'll see if I can trust them at the end.
Yeah, so Jeffree does trust them at the end. And at the end of this podcast, he pulls out his phone and starts showing them pictures, apparently.
No,
I don't do that. Jeffree, how can I help you?
Hold on, George.
Yes. Oh my God, Jeffree. I want to see.
Where's the cameras?
Was it a cock?
I want to see.
It was a good one.
What do you think? I can handle it?
But the phone cannot see the camera can't see my
They're
phone.
over there.
Cameras are over there.
Yeah.
I just showed George meeting an NBA player.
I want to see.
That's amazing.
Oh.
You feel me?
What position did those players
his
play?
his face was in that one.
Well, yeah. I would blur it if I ever posted it.
And they're just cool. Do they know?
Yes.
Yeah, but do they know that you just showed this to Logan Paul and Mike Malak on the Impulsive podcast? I mean, for somebody who doesn't like to out people, he seemed very willing to just show them the picture of some NBA player, apparently. And it seemed like he's trying to show off or something. And I like how earlier Logan's co-host, George, brought up that, hey, you just said you don't like to out people, but now you're about to show us this. And they're all just like, oh, no, dude, don't worry about it. It's just us. He's just going to show us. Don't worry about it. Which I understand that reaction, because if somebody's like, hey, here's a basketball player that's in the closet, you want to see who it is? I'd be like, all right, sure. And who knows? Maybe Jeffree didn't even show them any pictures. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what his deal is. But I will say this was an entertaining podcast. He is an interesting guest. I'm not going to deny that. Like right away, he put Mike on the spot and asked him what his gender is. And Mike was all confused. He's like, oh man, is this a trick question? I don't know.
I just have one question for Mike. What's my gender?
What's his or yours?
I just remember Mike trying to cockblock me and Andrew Schultz and wasn't keeping it real.
Oh, wait, did I fuck this up in the past?
Yeah.
I actually did.
I'm just kidding around.
Answer the question. What's Jeffree's gender?
You identify as he/he.
Fuck yeah, bro.
All right. Was that?
hey, fuck yeah, bro.
Was that right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay,
it's always way more simple than it ever is.
Whenever somebody puts me on the spot.
So I went back and I found the podcast where Andrew Schultz is on, and they're talking about Jeffree Star, and Andrew doesn't know what gender he is, and Mike, he doesn't really know either. Like at first he calls her she, but then he's like, oh no, it's a he. And it just seems like he's confused as well.
I kind of want to see this. What if I told you that she's worth more?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel.
Oh, she's got a little...
I've been silent for a very long time. I know that's very rare for me. I've taken a lot of time to do a lot of self.
But I don't understand. She identifies as she?
He
identifies as he.
Well, there is an answer here that doesn't affect you in any way if you just answer it properly. Jeffree what is the proper answer? Fucking fuck. Someone give me the fucking answer.
See how
here.
confusing it is? It's not hateful. None of us hate him or her or whatever the fuck he wants to be.
Jeffree Star.
Is it a they them thing?
We're not doing this with the they them. We're not doing this.
No, it's he.
What does he want to be?
He.
I'll call him whatever he wants.
He? Yes.
That's a fine ass dude.
Yes. That's perfect.
As far as dudes go, pretty fine.
Yeah, so I can't tell if Mike's doing a bit or he really doesn't know what gender he is. I don't know. It is kind of confusing, I guess, if you don't look it up. I mean, I think you can just look it up, but it's funny that they're joking about being canceled for misgendering somebody, because on the newest podcast, Logan's co-host George, that guy says some stuff that I'm surprised they left in the podcast, because I feel like people could probably cancel him for this, even though I understand. I mean, I don't know, this is a tricky situation, because Jeffree just got done talking about, like, basically the whole podcast. He's talking about all this sexual stuff he's doing, and then he hands George a joint that they're sharing, and George says something, and Logan and Mike are like, "What did you just say?"
Do you have another lighter? No offense, but after all the 1,000 dick sucking you did, I just don't want to.
You did not just do that.
I'm sorry. You just said you would win the medal. This is very nice.
That's homophobic.
George is canceled.
First of all, I'm very into health.
Burnt the shit
You
out
want
of
to
his
really take
fucking
it there?
lips.
If I meet someone new, I pay for the STD test before I meet you.
Oh, that's cool.
I swear
1,000
on my
times?
life.
Before you meet them?
Yes.
Like,
I'm fucking you. You're going to go get the 24-hour test of every single thing, and I'm going to pay for it, and I get the results in my email, and then if you're good, let's go.
what about random hookups?
Yeah, so I thought that was hilarious. I don't think he should be canceled. I don't care that he said that. And I think him and Jeffree are good friends. I don't think Jeffree was offended by that at all. But everyone's reaction was just hilarious. And they're just like, I can't believe you just said that. And I'm sure he saw his whole career flash before his eyes. And then also right after that, like once he lights the end of it, then he puts his lips on it and burns his lips. But I thought this was a good podcast because it seemed like these people were saying whatever they wanted, which is good to hear. You know, they're not like tippy-toeing around like, oh, is this appropriate to say? Is this politically correct? Like, they're just asking whatever they wanted. And that's why Logan's podcast is doing so well right now. Like, he is getting a lot of views. Unless he's talking about NFTs, then nobody gives a shit. He needs to give that up. I mean, NFTs, it's basically the end of that. Nobody cares about people selling an NFT. Like, that has like a quarter of the views he normally gets, basically. That's because the average person doesn't care about NFTs. I mean, if they get into them now, I'm sure they're only going to lose money. Like, the crypto market, NFTs, is only going down from here for a while. And the stock market. Like, going on about NFTs still, I think Logan's still trying to sell them, and he has his own website and everything. Like, dude, that only just makes you look like a goofball. Alright, so now we're finally going to get to the story that everyone's been waiting for. Jeffree Star's disturbing micro dick encounter. That's what we're going to be checking out here.
We're going there?
Well, I mean, we've been
can.
here. We have tried to change the topic 400 times.
You won't let
Not
me.
once
No,
have you
it's-
guys try to change this topic.
I was going to.
We have.
I was going to.
Do you want me to answer?
We're caught in the dick sand is what this is.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
We do it anyways. It's not just you. But I'd like to hear the story.
Well, sometimes, you know, so I like to see what I'm getting into. So I like to see photos before I meet you. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So some people lie. And I had one person where when it got to the time to be intimate, and even though they lied and sent me pictures, they got undressed and they had a medical condition. You want to Google it right now?
Don't tell me it's the micro dick.
Is it the blue waffle?
He had a hidden penis.
A hidden penis?
It's a micro dick.
A micro dick. Yeah, micro penis.
Google hidden penis. This person was 6'5". I expected
This is bad.
baby.
I love this podcast so much.
Wow.
We're outing him. Yeah, it was awful. So I mean, but it's also like then people are gonna but I am into certain things. So we're all we all have our own different bodies. I didn't shame anyone. I didn't make him feel awful. You know.
Wait, what happened?
It just wasn't for me.
What did you do?
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, I let him. Okay, we're going there.
All right, so it gets even more graphic. Go check out the podcast. You know, I got to leave some of this to Logan's podcast. I don't want to steal everything here. But, yeah, I guess he had an encounter with somebody with a, what did he say, it was hiding or something like that? I don't know. But I think it's funny that Logan's able to do this podcast and he gets, like, all positive feedback from his fans, which he deserves. I mean, this was pretty good. It's like... It reminded me of Howard Stern a little bit, where they're just talking about like whatever, like nothing is off limits, and they're not afraid to ask him real personal questions. And I bet Ethan Klein is really jealous of them, because this seems like the kind of podcast that Ethan wants to do. Like whenever he talks to a gay person, he always asks them questions like this, but he usually takes things too far, and then his fans call him homophobic or transphobic or whatever, and they try to cancel him. So he's got to be jealous of Logan here. All right, so that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you at the next video.